Hi, Year 12. This is just to help you with exercise 8B, finding the maximum area of a rectangle given the perimeter. So here's the question. I believe it's an example. A rectangle has a perimeter of 24 centimetres. Now, hopefully you know that the perimeter formula is perimeter equals 2 lots of the length plus 2 lots of the breadth. Okay, so 2L plus 2 times B. So going back to the question, it says we have to write an expression, that's usually an algebraic expression, for the perimeter involving the length L and the breadth B, and hence write an equation for B in terms of L. So what that means is, if we have a look down here, it means use that perimeter formula, P equals 2L plus 2 times B. So the first thing I did, I wrote it in green for you, is I factorised. Okay, so I factorised first. So I took the 2 out and put the L and the B on the inside of the brackets. Once I did that, I then divided both sides by 2 to get rid of the 2 outside the brackets. So that gave me 12 equals L plus B. Now the question said it wanted you to get the B on its own, pretty much, okay? So I get the B on its own by subtracting both sides by L. So you can see there, I have now subtracted both sides by L. Once I do that, I've just turned my equation around to put the B on the left-hand side of the equals. I get B equals 12, take away L. And that's my formula that I need to use for the breadth of my particular, what is this? This is a rectangle. All right, so question B is next. B says, substitute the expression for B, so what we just found, in the formula for area to obtain an equation in terms of A and L only. So we don't want any B's in our equation, is what that's saying. All right, so I'll get you back over here. Sorry about that, should have done that first. All right, so starting off, we start off with the area formula. Hopefully you all know that area is length times breadth. So I've written in green there just to help you out. So what I'm going to do is I don't want any B's in my answer. So I'm going to put the 12 minus L in the place of the B. This is called substituting, if you can't remember. So that means on my second line, this one here, I'm going to have L times, that stays the same, but I'm going to put the 12 minus the L in the B position, but make sure you put it in brackets, because otherwise you'll get an incorrect answer. So now my next step is to expand those brackets, and I'm going to go, I'll put this in colour so you can see it, L times the 12 to get 12L, and then I'm going to go L times the negative L to get negative L squared. Okay, so that's my next step. So that's your answer for B. So B said, create and obtain an equation in terms of A and L. So we've already done B. All right, so question C now says, complete this table comparing length and area and use the equation you found in part B. So I've written that equation up there for you. Area equals 12L minus L squared. So if you want, you can cover over that table or stop the video and see if you can work that out for yourself. That would be fantastic. Okay. Once you've done that, hopefully you got some numbers similar to mine. So once I did that, I had to draw the graph of L versus A for this rectangle. So this is my dimensions. So you'll notice on the bottom is where the length is. Remember, the independent variable is the top of the table, the dependent variable is the bottom of the table, which is therefore the x-axis is the top of the table and the y-axis is the bottom of the table. So I've put all my numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I've used up every 2 boxes that work for me, so you might like to draw something similar. Cover this over or stop the video if you want to have a go on your own too, please. And then I made every 2 boxes go up by 4 on my vertical axis, and that way I used all the way up to about 40. So that's what my graph looked like. Question E now wants to know what the maximum area is. Let's hope I did that. Oh, there we go, beautiful. Maximum area will be the tip or the top of the parabola. So I found that the maximum area was 36. So remember, the y-axis is your area, the x-axis is your length, and it occurs at L equals 6. Didn't actually ask for that, but that's all right. Next one, can L be 13 centimetres or 0 centimetres? Okay, well, as you notice, if you look at our parabola, if you go to 0 on the horizontal, we don't have any area, okay? So when x is 0, we don't have any area, so we can't have that one. And if we go to the other end, our parabola comes back down, it looks like on the x-axis at 12. So if we go to 13 and we extended our parabola below the x-axis, we're actually going to get a negative answer. And really, in real life, we don't have negative area answers. There's really no such thing. So I wrote no, as no length occurs at 0, so therefore we have no area, or area is 0. And at L13, you will get a negative area answer. So realistically, you cannot have a negative area. And question G said, find the value of A when L equals 3.5. You can go off your parabola if you want. I find that it's more accurate, however, if you put the 3.5 into your equation, all right? You'll get the right answer every time. So that's what I did. I put 3.5 into the equation A equals 2L minus L squared, and it gave me 29.75 centimetres. So there's that one there. All right, now on the back of that page, or on the next page, you have a HSC question that I'm going to go through with you. If at any time you would like to pause and have a go at your own, please do that. Pause it now, have a go on your own, and if you don't understand how to do it, turn it back on and you can follow me. So the question says, Sam is building a garden bed using 60 metres of garden edging, as shown in the diagram. So here's the diagram, but I just don't want to give too much away. The garden will be against an existing fence on one side, so Sam will only need to edge 3 sides of the garden. So you'll notice there the green I've gone around in, that's where the garden edging needs to go, not on the fence at all. So we've got to figure out what that third vertical side will be. So if our two lengths are x, and I know I'm going to use 60 metres of garden edging, and I'm not going to put it on that fence side, then my green line around my edges represents 60 metres. So I've just got to take away the 2 x's on either end. So you'll notice here in my red to the left of the diagram, there it is, I know that the breadth, if you wish, or the vertical will be 60, take away 2x. And I know that my length now, therefore, will be the horizontal, which is the x. Okay, so that's how you work out what the side length is. So my next question, I'm not going to show you my answer yet in case you want to have a go, says, if the length of the garden bed is x, show that the area of the garden will be determined by the equation A equals 60x minus 2x squared. Now when a question says show, you've actually got to show all you're working out. So that red writing that I've done above next to my diagram, I definitely need to show that so I can tell them where the 60 minus 2x came from. And now what I'm going to do, you can pause this if you wish and have a go on your own first. You're going to use the area formula. It's a rectangle, so I used area equals length times breadth. And all I did was I put the B and the L from here into my equation. All right, so instead of the L, I put an X, and instead of the B, I put a 60 minus 2X. Remember, there's 2 terms, so whenever there's 2 terms, put them in brackets, please. So the next thing I had to do was I had to expand the brackets. And when I expanded the brackets, I got 60x minus 2x squared. So I've shown how they got their final answer in the question. All right, when you're ready, can you have a go at the table of values? Stop the video and have a go on your own, please. When you're ready, start the video up again. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go through the answers. So if you want to do it on your own, stop the video. If you want to follow with me, just keep going. Obviously here you're going to use your calculator and you're going to substitute all of these numbers into the equation. So you're going to do 60 times 5 minus 2 times 5 squared. All right, so if you've already done all that, there are the answers that I got. Check and see if you got the same. And now, can you guess what you have to do? Yes, you have to now graph that table of values. All right, so here was the graph grid paper. It's not too bad, actually. It's pretty good. It was pretty easy to put my X's in. Excuse my pencil iPad writing. And that's what my graph turned out to look like. First question says, given that Sam would like to maximise the area of the garden, what length X will he build the garden? So obviously you're going to have a look at the top of the parabola. You'll notice that the length is 15 at the turning point, and the area is 450. So really in this question, you're only worth 1 mark, so all you've got to give is the length. So you've got to tell me that it's x equals 15 metres will be the length. That will maximise the garden bed. You don't have to put the area in. I just put it in because I'm a teacher and I put everything in. Okay, so there you go. Thanks, Year 12. See you soon.